Hey guys, it's Pastor Bruce. Does it seem to you like we're flying through the book of Romans? We're already in chapter 3. And Paul begins with an interesting question. He said, so what's the point of the law? What's the point of circumcision? In other words, what's the point of Israel? And then he answers his own question, and I love this. He says, the point of Israel is that the oracles of God were committed to them. They're the ones that are to bring the message of God to the world. And we as followers of Christ, because we've been grafted in with Israel through Jesus Christ, we have that same mission to share the good news of Jesus Christ with the world. He then turns and he talks for a few verses about how even when we sin, we point to God's holiness. Our unrighteousness contrasts with God's righteousness and by extension shows His glory. But that doesn't mean that God doesn't have to punish sin, because God is just and so He must deal with that. We need to understand too that whether you're Christian, whether you're Jewish, whether you're a pagan, whatever, we were all born in sin. That all of us have sin as our baseline, as our default setting, if you will. And that were it not for God coming in Jesus Christ and drawing men to Him, none would ever seek Him. No one would ever seek God. And we cannot have righteousness in and of ourselves. Even the law does not give one righteousness. In fact, the law only exposes the fact that we're sinners. The only way to have the righteousness of God is through faith in Jesus Christ, because as the first verse of the Romans Road tells us, Romans 3:23, for all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. But Jesus satisfied God's wrath. He was the propitiation for our sin. He was the blood sacrifice. He's the one who paid the price for our sin through His death on the cross of Calvary. And because of that, we can have the righteousness of God. And that means that none of us can boast in and of ourselves, because apart from Jesus Christ, all we deserve is an eternity in hell. Praise Jesus for His finished work on the cross of Calvary. God bless you as you go.